Have you ever just sat there staring at a blank page, wondering, how do I even start? Well, today we're going to tackle that head on. We're building a simple blueprint for the perfect sentence, one that's going to make everything you write stronger, clearer, and way more effective. All right, let's get into it. So, think about it for a second. What's the actual difference between just a bunch of random words and a sentence that really works? It sounds super basic, right? But honestly, getting this right is the secret to all good communication. And to figure that out, we have to start at the very beginning, with the foundation itself. What even is a sentence? At its core, a sentence is really just a group of words that gets one complete idea across. It could be a statement, it can be a question, or it could be a command. And the two key ingredients you almost always gotta have, a subject and a verb. That's our basic blueprint right there. And hey, just to show you we're not making this up, this definition is pulled directly from the source material we're working from for this whole explainer. We're going right to the source for this one. So let's break that down into 4 simple rules. Think of it like a checklist for every sentence you write. First, you need a capital letter at the start. Second, you need an end mark, a period, question mark, or exclamation point. Third, you've got to have a subject and a verb. That's the engine. And finally, the whole thing has to express a complete thought. If you're missing even one of these, you don't have a complete sentence. Simple as that.
We just said a subject and a verb are essential, right? So let's zoom in on those for a second, because they make up the 2 fundamental parts of any sentence you'll ever see, the subject and the predicate.
Okay, here's a really easy way to think about it. The subject is just who or what the sentence is about. The predicate? That's everything else. It's the part that tells us what the subject is or what the subject does. And that's always where you're going to find the verb. Let's look at this super simple example from our source. The office is closed. Okay, what's the sentence about? The office. That's our subject. And what about the office? Well, it is closed. That's our predicate. See how they work together? You got the thing, and you got what's happening to the thing. That's a complete thought. All right, so now that we have our foundation and the 2 key parts, let's get into the 4 different designs a sentence can take. And what's cool is you use these all day, every day, probably without even thinking about it. First up, we've got the workhorse of the group, the assertive sentence. Its job is super straightforward. It just makes a statement. It declares a fact or an opinion. It asserts something. For example, India has been undergoing a difficult period. See? It's not asking a question, it's not giving a command, it's just stating something as a fact. That's a perfect assertive sentence. Next, we have the interrogative sentence. This one's the curious one. Its entire purpose in life is to ask a question. It's all about finding something out.
You know, something like, why is the train late? You can spot these from a mile away, and not just because of the question mark. The whole word order is built to ask for an answer.
And then there's the imperative sentence. This is the sentence of action. This is the one you use when you want to give a command, make a request, or basically just tell someone to do something. A classic example is, give me that book from the table. It's a direct command, right? And here's the cool thing about these. The subject, you, is totally invisible, but it's understood. We know exactly who is supposed to do the giving. And for our final design, we had the exclamatory sentence. This is where all the emotion comes out to play. You use this to express strong feelings like surprise, excitement, or even shock. For instance, what a clever boy you are. You can literally feel the energy in that sentence, can't you? It's way more than just a statement. It's a statement packed with feeling, and that exclamation mark at the end just drives it home. So you've probably noticed that each of these sentence types has its own special little symbol at the end. That's punctuation, and it works kind of like traffic signals for your reader. It tells them exactly how they're supposed to hear your words in their head. And this little chart here sums it all up perfectly. As you can see, a normal statement or command gets a full stop, or period. A question gets a question mark. And of course, when you're showing strong emotion, you bust out the exclamation mark. These little guys are doing a ton of work to show your reader what you mean. So we've gone through the rules, the parts, and the different types. But let's get real for a minute. Why does any of this blueprint stuff actually matter? Well, it's because mastering the sentence is basically a communication superpower. It allows you to write with real clarity and confidence. It helps you break down and actually understand complex ideas when you're reading. Most importantly, it makes sure your voice gets heard exactly the way you want it to, without any of those annoying, frustrating misunderstandings.
And that leaves us with one last thing to think about. You use these 4-sentence types all day long, in texts, in emails, in how you talk, so take a moment and think about it. Which one do you use the most?